What's up, music fans of the internet? I'm Kevin.
I'm Derek.
And together we are last week's album, the only reviews with two different views. And in this episode, we're talking about the new album by Lucius called Good Grief and asking, on Good Grief, how does Lucius bring classic pop into the future? Cheers, Derek, and everyone at home.
Cheers, Kevin, everyone at home.
Lucius are a Brooklyn-based quintet known for their folk pop and dueling front women. They wrote and recorded this album after 2 years on the road in support of their last album, which is a really great debut called Will the Woman back in 2013. One of our best albums of the year for that year. This is their sophomore follow-up to that. It's co-produced by the band and Sean Everett, who's worked with Weezer, Alabama Shakes, and Julian Casablancas. So that's it in a nutshell. Let's talk about what it sounds like in a nutshell. Derek, what do you think?
Kevin, I think Good Grief sounds like Madonna gets arrested by Poliça.
Ooh, I like that. I don't know how I didn't think of Madonna. That's such a great reference. Good cat. I think it sounds like Adele, the Bangles, the Supremes, and Phil Spector time travel to 2050.
Nice.
Let's talk about some highlights. Derek, what were some of your favorite parts of the album?
Madness, the opener, was a slow builder that really featured a haunting vocal melody that made Madness audible goodness. Born Again Teen was this upbeat pop burner. Hard not to sit still through that one, I thought. And Dusty Roads, there was strummed acoustic guitar and harmonized vocal, so it really conjured a country vibe. And one lyric there I really liked, they say, a long road is a long dragged out imagination where things can go wrong, but we keep rolling on.
I'm going to agree with 2 out of your 3 favorite tracks, Derek. I thought Madness had a great ebb and flow as well. That sort of loud to quiet and the frantic energy that fit its sort of nightmare-inducing anxiety that the song was about. Born Again Teen as well. It opens with the line, it's a feeling like a born-again teen, got a heartbeat like we're only 16. That is exactly what this song makes you feel like. It's a disco rager that's really addictive. And then my last one, though, My Heart Got Caught on Your Sleeve, is more than just a great title. It's also sort of the other end of the spectrum for them. It's more of a lovesick ballad. I thought it sounded like Adele and Paul Simon teamed up and wrote a song together. But overall, the album has some epic highs and epic lows in a good way. And there's great variety. This is a lot more upbeat energy than their last album had, and I think that's a really good improvement. All right. Well, let's talk about some lowlights. Was there anything you didn't think worked, Derek?
Kevin, one of your highlights I'm actually taking a disagreement with. My Heart Got Caught on Your Sleeve. Totally agree with you. That's got a great title. But I thought it was a little too mournful and slow for me. I think maybe just seeing that track title got expectations too high for me, and it just didn't deliver.
Fair enough. For me, the only parts that didn't work, I thought a few tracks leaned a little too hard on the 80s vibe, kind of bordering on cheesy. Something About You and Dancing in the Rain in particular, I thought had just a little bit too much 80s indulgence. I can stomach it. I think other listeners might find it a little too sugary pop, I guess.
I feel like it's tough when you're a band that does a lot of synths, like not to fall into that trap.
Yeah, that's true. But some of these just sounded like they would have fit right in on a soundtrack to like Mannequin. And from there, let's take it to overall rating and answering the big question on Good Grief. How does Lucius bring classic pop into the future? What do you say, Derek?
Well, to answer the big question, I think flexibility of sound really allows them to do that. How they build them all together really kind of brings that classic pop sound into the future. Really like the vocals. Often they're done in unison, but oftentimes harmonized. Gone Insane towards the end, they kind of break off into different directions, which I thought was a stark contrast, kind of what they normally do, but it was to good effect. Overall, I totally agree with you. Really energetic, engaging sound throughout. They never really pigeonhole themselves. Negative things, I think maybe lyrically a little too dark at times. Even with the album opener, the first lyrics is, I had a dream where you were standing there with a gun up to my head. Just a little intense to start things off with. But that being said, I really did enjoy it, so I'm giving this one a 4 out of 5.
Nice. I mean, what better way to start off an album?
I mean, it's like this is how it's gonna be.
Yeah, I thought it was a great primer for the energy and the drama. To answer the question, how do they bring classic pop into the future? I think they build on the foundations, but they blow everything bigger. The voices, the electronics, the drama. There's just so much going on here, and I think particularly some of the more futuristic sounds, like you mentioned, Derek, the synths, and other little subtle keys here and there. A lot of electronics going on that really, I think, bring it into the future. However, they're so meticulous, I feel like they can get away with this kind of indulgence. The album explored the roller coaster ride of emotions of extended traveling, and I thought that was a nice theme that worked really well. I thought the production was rock solid. There's always something new to hear, but the layers are really subtle, so it's never really overwhelming. Strong melodies, strong hooks, strong lyrics, strong composition. I really, really enjoyed this album, so I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. And with that, that's a combined 9 out of 10 for Good Grief by Lucius. So go check it out for sure and let us know what you guys think of it. Don't forget to subscribe to us here at the YouTube channel or the podcast, your choice. And we are last week's album, the only reviews with 2 different views. I'm Kevin.
I'm Derek.
Cheers, guys. See you next time.